Bryan and Napoleon met during the regular season. Bears looking to avenge that loss. First quarter, Mackenzie Seamer on the wing, drives the lane, gets the hoop. Bryan out to the early 6-point lead. Second quarter, low scoring affair. Kaylee Ressler in the paint, works her way around the defense, keeps the pivot foot and scores. Wildcats down by just a single point. Second half now, Emma Pedroza, one-on-one, gets the hoop. Wildcats down one the end of the third. Fourth quarter, Napoleon pours it on. Pedroza to Ressler in the corner, drains the triple. Napoleon outscoring Bryan 18-5 in the fourth. That is the difference. They claim their fourth straight district title, 40-28 the final. Ressler, the game high, 20 points. Brad Woznicki and Steve Ronkowitz have more.
This was round two between Napoleon and Bryan after Napoleon won during the regular season back in early January by 4 points. And coming in, Napoleon, this was a team that had been here before, and when it counted in the fourth quarter, that showed.
It did. It was one of those games that was very typical of Napoleon. They just hang around and hang around. You got to be very happy if you were Bryan. First three quarters, that's what you wanted to do. You wanted to slow things down. Napoleon's good at that. But it was the fourth quarter ultimately where Napoleon just kind of pulled away. 18 points in that fourth quarter where really it was a single-digit scoring quarters throughout the game before that. 18 in the fourth was really the big difference.
Yes, they held the Bryan Lady Bears to just 5 points in that fourth quarter. And we can't say enough about the performance of Kaylee Ressler from start to finish in this one.
Well, she started out early on in the first quarter. She had 6 points, most of it from the inside and a little bit of mid-range, but then she kind of expanded things. She was able to score inside. She went to the free throw line. She scored there. And then when it really happened, they needed those 18 points. She went behind the arc, hit a couple of threes, and that really kind of started to pull things away for that Napoleon team at that point.
A first-team All-NLL and first-team All-District selection, Kaylee Ressler. Now for the Bryan Lady Bears. My partner talked about it. For the first three quarters, they were right where they wanted to be, up one. But down the stretch, this team who had had so much success throughout the season, coming in here 19 wins, just couldn't find a way to get their offense going.
Well, they couldn't. It was really tough. Of course, the defense of Napoleon had a lot to do with that. Napoleon is so tenacious on defense, but really when it really counted for Bryan, what they wanted to do was to get some points. They tried to up the tempo a little bit. They got some unforced errors, and at that point, that's where things started to unravel for them a little bit in that fourth quarter. They just weren't able to get baskets when they needed them.
Yeah, Bryan won a sectional title this year. They also won their first outright league title since 1993. But the Napoleon Wildcats have just won their fourth consecutive district title. They're moving on to regionals.